to Career for having us. It's a pleasure, and thank you for taking time out of your evening to be with us. So we're going to, Heba and I are going to give you a quick overview of the program that we that we're offering. I'm going to say this many times, but the program is completely free. It takes about 10 minutes to register for the program, and it's free. The computer, if you need one, is free. We can pay for internet if you need it, and the coaching is free. So I'm just going to tell a quick overview. Then we'll show a 3-minute video about the program so you can actually see the activities. And then Heba and I will show you some other features of the program, a little example 1-minute video of a short story, things like that. So you'll get a really good idea of not only what the program offers your child, but also how as a parent you can use the information. So just very quickly, in terms of history, we're a national nonprofit called Waterford.org. We've been around for 40 years. The founder was a visionary who wanted equity in education and knew that it was really hard for teachers and parents to give every child the individual attention that they need in order for them to have a good start at kindergarten. So initially, the program was built for schools, and we sell to schools in 43 states. And in fact, it was sold by a company called Pearson for 17 years. And back then, we all thought if kids read by 3rd grade, that they'd be set for life. So our program was kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. And if children did our program, they'd have a great chance of being good readers by 3rd grade. And then about 15 years ago, the research came out and showed that really children need to be ready for kindergarten. So it's not reading, it's just an awareness of letters, sounds, shapes, numbers, if possible, an idea that books go from left to right, things like that. So we redesigned our program, and now we're in 20 states with the pre-K program. So it's built to be 15 minutes a day of the literacy program. And then there's an optional 15 minutes for math and science. Our founder's son did his PhD on the dose response, basically like a medicine, how much was too much and how much too little and how much just right for each age. And for 3 to 6-year-olds right before kindergarten, we found that 15 minutes a day, Monday to Friday, of the literacy learning, and then 15 minutes a day of the math and science is perfect, the perfect amount. So kids can do a little bit more, but it's all adaptive. It goes at their own pace. So if they're really getting it and want to go fast, it challenges them because it will keep going forward. And if they're struggling, it slows down and gives them different activities so they don't get bored, but to make sure that they learn the initial skills. The fundamentals are really important. So all of our program is based on the science of reading, and everything we do is proven and research driven. We're constantly adjusting content. And we also have a lot of social emotional content built in. So once we had built this great adaptive software that really works really well, we realized that there's other problems to doing it at home, which is one of which is having a computer. So if your family doesn't have a computer, we will give you a new laptop to keep. And aside from the 30 minutes a day, the rest of the family can use the laptop. And we will also provide internet if you don't have it. We can also set up emails. So if you don't have internet or anything, you can call the phone number and register, and we can set up an email as well. So we then provided the devices, the laptops and the internet. But then we also saw that sometimes brothers and sisters or parents were using the child's program. And because it's sequenced and it's adaptive, that messes up the sequencing for the pre-K child. So we also offer a free account if any brothers and sisters or parents or grandparents also want to do the same early learning program. And one of the most exciting parts of our program is the family coaching. And later we have a 1-minute video showing a father talking about the coach. But our coaches call, I think, once or twice a week to check in. And they're just there for helpful hints, to encourage parents, We have coaches that build really great relationships with the parents. And sometimes I think you'll see in the video, the father says they gave him homework, but it's not a burden or an obligation for the parents. The kids can do their program. When my kids were on it, I would come home from work and put my kids on Waterford and go cook dinner. But it's great for parents to be able to know what their kids are learning. So it's a great way for the coaches to check in, talk about any concerns, give helpful hints and things like that. So we're gonna show a 3-minute video that gives you an idea of the activities. And then after that, we'll talk more about the different components of the program. And we have a couple other 1-minute videos to give you a really good feel for what you're signing up for.
Okay, I will share with everyone. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
At Waterford.org, we make education interactive and fun.
Alligator. Capital A.
Blend of the sounds. S, t, e, m. Stream. S, t, e, m.
Our lessons are interactive and adaptive, which means children enjoy a personalized experience that moves at their own pace.
2. 3. 4.
Let's find one more. Which word rhymes with cat, hat, and bat? Listen. Dog. Rat.
The cardboard box is used to make a spiral notebook. It is recyclable, so it goes in the recycle bin. Click on another piece of garbage.
Not only will children learn the fundamentals of reading, but a math and science component helps them build those skills as well.
Click on the picture that shows big teeth. Lion. Great work.
Bone and phone. Rhyme.
This is what a semicircle looks like. Click on the semicircle in the picture. Semicircle.
Click on the letter or letters that make the next. Click on the letter or letters that make.
When children learn, a world of possibilities opens up to them. Visit Waterford.org to learn more.
Okay, that was just a brief example of the program, just to give you an idea of what the child engages with. And we thought it might be a good idea to share just a quick snapshot of the registration information. You could jot it down now if you want. If you don't, we'll share it again at towards the end. I'll just put it on the screen here. And I'll also reiterate what Allison had mentioned, which is the program for literacy is just 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And there's an additional 15 minutes if you choose for math and science. And as you can see, the characters are supposed to be engaging. It's supposed to be light and fun and a pleasant experience for the children. And I'll go through it towards the end, but the registration process is very simple. You can do it online and it would take you about 8 minutes or so. And if you're not comfortable doing it online, you can also call this number or you can email registration@waterford.org. And in both those cases, someone will help you out.
Thanks, Heba. And so as I hope you can tell, we really want to help families however we can. So the program is to learn English, but everything on the website is in English and Spanish. So you can register in Spanish on the website or by phone. And if you prefer to have a native Spanish speaker as a coach, we can arrange that. That's no problem. And typically you keep the same coach more or less for the whole program time. We also work with a third-party provider and offer 135 other languages. So if someone speaks another language and no English, they can call the phone number. If they say the language that they need, then we usually are able to loop in a live translator to help them register and answer any questions. And then we can also provide the coaching during the whole program in that language. So our coaches would call with a translator on the line. And we found that that works pretty well. And we can help families with, technical issues, with starting off how to use the computer, everything that's needed. So we just want to show you again, the family coaching, the sibling accounts, and the language support are really big components of the program, in addition to the great software. So this is just a 1-minute video of one of our participants talking about their family coach.
I call her my BFF, Tiffany. She's unbelievable. She's always available. She calls me once a week. And she says, if you feel like you need to call me throughout the week, feel free to do so. The support that we get from her, it's really outstanding. She gave me homework just yesterday. She said, I'm going to send you some index cards and you're going to work with this in Shia, because based on the testing that we've done, this is what she needs to work on. She's always there for us. She's calling us, she's telling us how Shia Bell is doing, what she needs to work on, where she's doing really well, where she's strong. And it's literally a personal one-to-one coach that I'm getting, that Shia Bell is getting, and it just keeps us going in the right path. And I think that having the computer and the program, the technology is great, but also the human touch and the human connection with that person that gets on the phone with you, that's always there for you if you have questions. If you give them a call, they'll respond, and it's priceless. And we're really grateful for Tiffany and everything that she's done for us, because she keeps us on track.
So that's a great part of the program. As I say, it's again not a burden for parents. We're there just to help out. And our content, and we're going to tell you a little bit about access to other resources, even if you don't have a child who's in the pre-K year, if you have younger children or older children, because there is a way to sign up just to have access to a weekly newsletter and things like that. But Heba will talk to you about that in a minute. But we're going to show just a 1-minute video of an example of a story that's in the program that is teaching a lot of skills. So our programs, as I say, are always science based and data driven. So there's not just the story, there's appropriate vocabulary, appropriate phonics, appropriate sounds, but then we're also trying to really teach additional vocabulary to children. And you'll pay attention to the voice, and at the end, you'll see the fun type of thing that we do with our programs.
The title of this book is Sam. The author is Annalise Cannon. The illustrator is Jamie Christensen. Here are the words for this page. Help me put the words in order. Read them aloud before clicking them. Click the word I. You clicked am. Click I. Click the word am. Click the word Sam. Let's read this page out loud together. Ready? I am Sam. I wish you could read this book with one of my friends. Howdy do?
Hello!
Yoo-hoo! Can you make your voice sound like one of theirs? Click one of my friends to read the book with them.
Can you read out loud with me? Use your high voice. Remember to start reading here. Ready? I am Sam.
So I don't know about you, but when my kids were little, they would always want my husband and me to do voices with when we were reading a book or telling them bedtime stories. They always loved the voices. And we were laughing because yesterday, right after we had a presentation like this, Waterford's Instagram, which often gives helpful hints and things like that, the helpful hint was doing funny voices and fun voices and differentiating when you tell stories to your children and when you read to them. So it's such a fun thing. Heba, do you want to talk about some of the resources, both within the program and also for people who just sign up who do not have a pre-K child necessarily?
Yeah, sure. I'll share. We have tons of examples, but we chose 2 examples that I'd like to share with you. One is I'll share my screen, and I'll also put the link in the chat just in case you would like to take a look. So one of these resources are a series of songs that we call Sing Around the World. And these songs are coming from different ethnicities, different cultures. And you could see in the parentheses, Norway, Mexico, New Zealand. Each one of these is really fun. It's just a fun way to experience a different culture. And for us, it also helps us share the importance of incorporating cultural sensitivity and awareness in our program. We also have another example here. This is and I'll show you in the next slide how to sign up for it. But here's one example. This is about opposites. So it begins by visually representing different things that are opposite, old versus new. And then it continues to go up, down. And then I'll scroll down to where the actual activity is. Right here, you'll see that this is the activity that you would use to have with your child, to talk about opposites. What is the opposite of night? What is the opposite of tall? So things like that. And if you would like to sign up, we have a page called water.org/early learning boosts. These are called early learning boosts, which is in essence 2 times a week you receive an email, and each of those emails offers one of those resources, and they're at no cost. They're completely free, and your child could be of any age. And I'll move on actually to this one. Would you like to share this one, Allison?
Sure. I love the calendars. Again, this is something that's on the website, and then sometimes we send them out on Facebook or Instagram. Each month there's a calendar with activities that a teacher or a parent can just use as a sort of reminder of fun things to do, counting things, taking one number, like the number 4 for one day, and then finding sets of 4 flowers or 4 books. Here it is in Spanish. We have it in English and Spanish every month. And it's just great reminders of little activities you can do just while you're out doing errands or at home or cooking dinner. A lot of it is building vocabulary. So there's a lot more thought that's in it besides just the activity, because the vocabulary is one of the most important things that kids at this age can really learn. And their vocabulary can be expanded so easily when you just talk to them about different things and ask them different questions. So the calendars are fun. And then I think we have another
There was one more
example of a worksheet.
Exactly. I lost it for a second. Here it is. This is an example of the letter A. And so it's a worksheet that goes through different activities. It has the link to different songs. And it goes here and talks about books, Waterford books that are being suggested. And so it's, as we've hopefully been trying to say, this is just one way to engage children, and it's also a way for us to engage the parents and the family in the whole process of learning that they're experiencing.
And the books, so on the website and in the program, there's over 300 books that are in PDF form, so that you can open them on a phone or something if you're in the car with your child. It's a great way to have access to a book at any time without actually having the book. And there's a huge variety of level of books. Some of them are for the pre-K kids will learn to read themselves, where there's like one word on a page, to a little bit more complicated stories, which of course would be hard for them to read, but which is great if someone can read to them, because it's building those sounds, those vocabularies, and the ideas and the concepts that are so important. So maybe, Heba, do you want to show how to register so that everyone's familiar with that?
Sure. These are just a series of screenshots of the registration process. It's just to walk you through what the process is like. As we mentioned earlier, if you're not comfortable doing it online, you can also call the number or email the address. But if you do go online, it's about 8 minutes or so, and you open up to a page where it's asking very basic information. And the information is your first name, your last name, your phone number. And then you choose one of these 3 ways of registering, either the Google account or your Apple account, or you open a Waterford account where you would just here add a password. And then you press this, which is apply for the Upstart program. As we mentioned, it's at no cost. And you fill out this information, again, very basic information. You press submit. It opens up to the program that we're talking about here today, which is the Connecticut Pre-K program. I had put in the zip code that's associated with Connecticut. That's why it automatically pops up. And then this form, there's about 4 pages, about 4 minutes are left. And it's, again, pretty basic information. Here's information about the child. And then it's followed with some information about when they're entering kindergarten, your race and ethnicity, if you want to answer. And then it goes on to information about the parent or guardian and some other basic information. Some things you can choose to answer or you can decline. And then the third part is just agreeing to the terms and your signature. And then you'll get this processing, which after about an hour or so, max a day, you would receive an email saying that your registration is confirmed. And if you had requested a computer, then you would also get an email providing you the shipping or tracking information of the computer. And if you don't receive the confirmation within 1 day, please call the number, and that means there's been a glitch of some sort, and we'll look into it. So that's the simple process.
Great. And I don't know if we said it at the beginning, but if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and we'll try to answer them as we go along, or at the end, we'll certainly have time. So when you register for the program, though, with a pre-K child, it's pretty comprehensive, and we've built in a lot of things that you don't have to do, but that are fun. So we have a monthly pep rally, which is usually about 40 minutes. It's for the parents and kids. And there's lots of fun components. We're going to show you just a couple minutes, 2, I guess, showing one of the things that parents have, the parent dashboard, and then just the type of game they have in the pep rally, where when they actually do it live, there's a little survey function, so you get to pick the choice. So it's very interactive.
I feel so glad that all of you are here with us. All right, kids, sit tight for just 1 second while we speak to your grown-ups.
Hey grown-ups, let me show you how you can see some really awesome details of your child's progress on the Upstart website. There's so much great information. To start, you'll just go to the Dashboards tab.
Next, there we go, we're waiting for the video. Next, scroll down to the completions and scores graph. You can use this toggle at your upper right of the graph and choose the time frame that you'd like to look at. And did you know that all of these are clickable links?
Let's check how this Upstart student has been doing overall over the last month. I can change this to current month, and then I'll click on overall right here. Now we see this new window, which shows a detailed breakdown of all the objectives the student has been working on in the last month, the learning objective, and the score they got.
If you have any questions about viewing your child's progress, please give us a call. We'd love to walk you through our website while you are sitting at your own computer.
Okay, friends, thank you for waiting so patiently while we spoke to your grown-ups. Let's play a game. It's called Would You Rather? We want to get to know you just a little bit better. Ask the grown-up who is with you to sit close to you and help you answer the question by choosing your selection in the poll when it appears on the screen.
All right, here's the first question. Are you ready? Would you rather go on a beautiful fall hike, or jump in a pile of leaves? Pick which one you would rather do if you could only do one of them. Ask your grown-up next to you to help you pick which one you would rather do. Would you rather go on a fall hike or jump in a pile of leaves?
So that was just a snippet. There's a lot of music and dancing and fun parts to the monthly pep rallies. That was the one from October. So since a lot of the fall programs for this year had just started off, we tried to put in a lot of tools and just help parents. But parents don't have to, master the dashboard. Some parents really want to know a lot of detail and want to see the progress and are concerned about certain areas. But the program really works with the child doing it without a lot of parent involvement. So we know that everyone's tired after a day of work, and don't worry, it's very straightforward. And the coach can also just talk you through it, tell you how your child's doing, and help with any questions. So we have another quick video, just another really one of a virtual graduation. We used to do everything in person, and sometimes we still are trying, but the last few years we've been able to do graduations both in English and Spanish, with a lot of the characters that the kids see throughout the year in the program, in the software. And then also we try to be very interactive, where families can, if they want, send in pictures or videos of their children, reading or using the program, or in this case, excited about graduating. So we'll just show you a clip. I think watching kids dance and celebrate, there's nothing better than that. So does anyone have any questions? Well, we've sort of gone through most of the material, and we have an example of one of the Read to Me stories. As we mentioned, there's a lot of books that are just books on our system that are PDFs. And then there's a handful that are Read to Me stories that are great also for just sitting in front of and having the computer read to your child with you, hopefully. So if there's any questions, we can answer them now or afterwards, but we're just going to show you one of our fun books.
And I was thinking if we could show them the literacy slide right before I go to the book.
Oh yeah,
I
the
was
curriculum,
supposed
that'd be great.
Yeah, the curriculum. I was supposed to do it earlier, and I just like to show everybody. This is just a snapshot of the literacy part of our program. And we're sharing it just to give you an idea of what is available on the program. There's a very wide range of different activities that are available. And it's also going from pre-K to second grade. And we think that that's important to mention because it does highlight the fact that the program allows for adaptability to the level of comfort that the child has. And so there's a very broad range of activities that are available. This is an example of literacy. We also have the equivalent amount in math and science. And so it just allows for children, especially if they're really progressing in one particular area, it allows for the program to accommodate that.
Yeah, thank you, Heba. That's a really important point. And our data, if anyone's interested, we have a lot of data on how the students do in different states and at different ages. But on average, if a child does our program 15 minutes a day for the year before kindergarten, they enter kindergarten at the place where the national average is entering first grade. So they typically gain almost 2 years of the level of awareness, and a lot of them actually go to kindergarten basically reading. So it's a really great program. And as Heba said, because our content goes up through second grade, if they, really work at it and they are doing well, they're not going to get stopped at a certain level just because they're 4 or 5. It will keep challenging them and keep expanding their knowledge base. And as I say, the math science is great. My kids, I think, loved the math science part better. It's 4-year-old appropriate. It's baby animals, shapes of the moon, numbers, lots of shape matching games like you saw in the little video where you drag and drop the shape into an architectural building or artwork and things like that. And again, our science space and our research is always trying to incorporate not just the shape, but also other vocabulary, other images, awareness of other topics, and vocabulary. We say that a lot. So let's show the story. And then if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them afterwards.
And this story is about 4 minutes. So you can maybe, if you have a child in the room, they could come and listen to this as well. I think it's fun.
Mitya lives way up north near a big forest where it gets very cold. One day, Babushka knitted some woolly new mittens to keep Mitya's hands warm. They were beautiful, red and white and soft. Mitya wore his new mittens into the forest as he looked for firewood. When he stopped to tie his boot, he forgot one mitten and left it under a tree. Soon Mouse came by, shivering and shaking with the cold. "What's this?" He sniffed the mitten. "Something warm, just for me." Mouse crawled inside. He wiggled and snuggled and made himself cozy and warm. Soon Rabbit came by, shivering and shaking with the cold. "What's this?" He sniffed the mitten. "Something warm, just for me." "No, just for me," said Mouse. "Please let me in too," begged Rabbit. Mouse looked at Rabbit's big feet. He sighed and reluctantly moved over. Rabbit crawled inside. Mouse and Rabbit wiggled and snuggled and made themselves cozy and warm. Soon Hedgehog came by, shivering and shaking with the cold. "What's this?" He sniffed the mitten. "Something warm, just for me." "No, just for us," said Mouse and Rabbit. "Please let me in too," begged Hedgehog. Mouse and Rabbit looked at Hedgehog's prickles. They sighed and reluctantly moved over. Hedgehog crawled inside. Mouse, Rabbit, and Hedgehog wiggled and snuggled and made themselves cozy and warm. Soon Fox came by, shivering and shaking with the cold. "What's this?" He sniffed the mitten. "Something warm, just for me." "No, just for us," said Mouse, Rabbit, and Hedgehog. "Please let me in too," begged Fox. Mouse, Rabbit, and Hedgehog looked at Fox's bushy tail. They sighed and reluctantly moved over. Fox crawled inside. Mouse, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Fox wiggled and snuggled and made themselves cozy and warm. Soon Bear came by, shivering and shaking with the cold. "What's this?" He sniffed the mitten. "Something warm, just for me." "No, just for us," said Mouse, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Fox. "Move over," growled Bear. Mouse, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Fox looked at Bear's sharp claws. They sighed and reluctantly moved over. Bear crawled inside. Mouse, rabbit, hedgehog, fox, and bear wiggled and snuggled and made themselves cozy and warm. Bear rolled over and poked Fox with one sharp claw. Fox rolled over and brushed Hedgehog with his bushy tail. Hedgehog rolled over and scratched Rabbit with his prickles. Rabbit rolled over and bumped Mouse with his big feet. Mouse rolled over and tickled Bear's nose with his long whiskers, and Bear sneezed. Huh? Ooh! Huh? Choo! The end.
So as you can probably tell, there's so many, a lot of the books, the Read to Me books, the highlighting or the sometimes it's in different colors, bounces along with the words. And it's amazing. Sometimes even kids who obviously can't read this level book, recognize words. So there's always a lot of repetition. So they hopefully can get the word recognition. There's also vocabulary that's maybe a little bit a stretch for them. But again, there's usually a wide range so that some children are going to get a few words. Others are going to be stretched for words that are more challenging. But if they hear it, it helps them really relate to it. And then usually there's, we pay a lot of attention to the music and the sounds and things like that as well. So lots of the books are from different countries and cultures. And as Heba said, the songs from around the world are available on YouTube. That Heba put the link in the chat. And those, we've been doing them for years actually, but some of those have both languages and some of them are folk tales or historical songs. So there's really a great variety, and they are, I think, categorized by letter. So if, some are to learn the letter A, there's one keyword that has a lot of A's in it or something like that. But also the country is indicated, the country of origin of the folk tale or the language or the song. And we're always growing our content to be larger and broader and cover many more cultures and languages. So that's really our presentation for today, but we'd be happy to answer any questions. And I think Heba posted the two links, the waterford.org/upstart, which is for the pre-K program, which takes about 10 minutes to register. And then the phone you can call anytime and ask any questions. And then the Waterford Boost, which I think was also in the chat, is if you do not have a pre-K child or you just want the free twice a week newsletter, email with helpful hints for kids and activities, and also access to some of the other resources on our website. That's really easy. That all you have to do is put in your email and sign up. So you can do that also. And teachers or childcare providers can sign up for that to have helpful hints. And we hope to help lots of kids in Connecticut get kindergarten ready.
All right, so we can just wait a few moments if there are any questions anyone has, or if they need clarity on anything. But I believe that Allison and Heba laid it out very well, explaining everything about the program, which is very, very wonderful to help our children be the absolute best that they can be for kindergarten readiness and for even beyond. Because once we lay the foundation for that, then there's absolutely nothing that they can't do. So I've also put in the survey for this info session that we've had so that we can help improve anything that we may need to do for upcoming info sessions going forward or anything like that, so that everyone gets the information that they need and the clarity that they need. So please take your time to fill out the survey. Okay.
And Danielle knows how to reach Heba and me. If anyone has specific questions, we're happy to help. And as I say, we have native Spanish speakers as coaches and that can answer any questions, and any other language. I think Heba can cover Arabic and I can cover French. But any other language, we're happy to get a translator on to speak with a family, a parent. So if you have friends or neighbors that don't speak English or Spanish, just let us know. We can have someone call them with a translator that speaks their language, and we're happy to do that. And we do it a lot. So
All right, so if there are no questions, we can go ahead and give everyone 15 minutes back. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we will be sharing this recording with those that may not have been able to attend and everything like that, and posting this on our social media as well. But if you need any information or any questions, please feel free to email me. I will also put my email in the chat for everyone. Okay,
there it is.
Right, wonderful. So I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. And again, thank you so much for attending our Waterford Upstart info session.
Thank you, everyone.
thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks, Juanita.